Yeah, we're going to be talking about a game that I think left a lot of Washington Commanders fans pretty frustrated.
Yeah.
Their Week 11 loss against the Philadelphia Eagles.
For sure.
And you know what made this loss sting even more? Wasn't just the final score. It was how effectively the Eagles shut down one of the league's top receivers, Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, it was a rough night for him in the entire Commanders offense, especially given how explosive they've been this season.
Absolutely. I mean, McLaurin was on fire coming into this game.
Oh, yeah.
He was third in the league in receiving yards and had either scored a touchdown or racked up over 100 receiving yards in 7 out of his 10 games.
Wow.
So it's shocking to see how completely he was taken out of the equation against the Eagles.
Right.
He ended the night with just 1 reception for a measly 10 yards.
And to add insult to injury, he wasn't even targeted by his quarterback until the third quarter.
Oh, wow.
That's unheard of for a receiver of his caliber.
Yeah, it really highlights the effectiveness of the Eagles' defensive strategy, particularly rookie cornerback Quinyon Mitchell, who was tasked with covering McLaurin.
Yeah, Mitchell's performance was definitely a breakout moment for the rookie.
Absolutely.
He essentially erased McLaurin from the game, not allowing a single target when he was covering him.
That's wild.
And that's incredible, considering McLaurin's Pro Bowl status and the fact that Mitchell was a relative unknown before this game.
Yeah, it speaks volumes about Mitch's potential and the Eagles scouting department. They clearly identified a diamond in the rough, and, this wasn't just a fluke performance either. Mitchell showcased excellent technique and physicality throughout the game, disrupting McLaurin's routes and making it difficult for him to get open.
I'm curious how McLaurin reacted to such a dominant performance by Mitchell. Did he show any frustration or make excuses?
From his post-game comments, it seems like McLaurin took the high road. He acknowledged Mitchell's skill and emphasized his own need to improve. He even admitted to being surprised by how effectively Mitchell shut him down, but remained focused on learning from the experience and bouncing back.
That's a testament to McLaurin's professionalism and leadership. He's not dwelling on the negative, but using it as fuel to get better. And it also speaks to the culture that head coach Ron Rivera has instilled in this Commanders team. They're not pointing fingers, but focusing on accountability and improvement.
Absolutely. This game was a wake-up call for the Commanders, but it's not time to panic. They're still a good team at 7-4 and have plenty of time to adjust and make a run. However, they can't afford to let one player, especially a rookie, shut down their entire passing game. They need to find ways to get McLaurin more involved and diversify their offensive attack.
Yeah, they need to figure out how to adjust to these tough defenses like the Eagles. They can't let one player dictate their offensive game plan. And it's a challenge they'll need to address quickly, especially with their next game being against their rivals, the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, man. The Cowboys game is going to be a crucial test. It's a chance for them to prove they can bounce back from adversity and reassert themselves in the NFC East race. It'll be fascinating to see how they adjust their game plan and if they can find a way to get McLaurin back on track.
Yeah, the Cowboys also boast a formidable defense, so it'll be interesting to see if they try to replicate the Eagles' strategy of shutting down McLaurin. If they do, the Commanders will need to have a counterpunch ready, otherwise they risk falling further behind in the...
Yeah, this upcoming game has all the makings of a classic NFC East showdown, with both teams fighting for playoff positioning and bragging rights. The outcome could have major implications for both teams' seasons, so the stakes are incredibly high.
Absolutely. Before we delve into the specifics of that Cowboys matchup, let's rewind a bit and analyze what made the Eagles so dominant against the... I mean, their 6-game winning streak isn't just a fluke. They're playing like a complete team, firing on all cylinders on both sides of the ball. Yeah. Their defense was suffocating against the Commanders, particularly in the second half. They limited Washington to just a few first downs and consistently pressured quarterback Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, and, this suffocating performance was really just a culmination of their recent... They've been steadily improving throughout the season and now look like one of the most formidable units in...
Yeah.
It wasn't just the defense, though. Their offense was equally impressive, led by a resurgent Saquon Barkley, who had a monster game.
Oh, for sure.
He gashed the Commanders for nearly 200 total yards and 2 touchdowns, showcasing his power, speed, and elusiveness.
Yeah, Barkley's performance was reminiscent of his early years in the league when he was considered one of the most dynamic running backs in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's clear that he's fully recovered from his previous injuries and is once again a dominant force.
Yeah, and the combination of Barkley's explosiveness and the Eagles' stifling defense has made them a legitimate... They've proven they can beat teams in a variety of ways, and their confidence is sky high. Yeah, their win against the Commanders was a statement victory. They sent a message to the rest of the league that they're a force to be reckoned with. It'll be intriguing to see if they can maintain this level of play as they face tougher opponents in the coming weeks.
The Eagles' success this season is a testament to their well-rounded roster, their coaching staff, and their overall team chemistry. They've got a winning formula, and it's showing on the field week after week.
Yeah, Their ability to shut down McLaurin highlights their defensive prowess, and their offensive firepower led by Cohen Barkley makes them a nightmare matchup for any opponent. It's no wonder they're considered one of the favorites to represent the NFC.
While the Eagles are soaring, the Commanders are now facing a crucial juncture in their season. They need to regroup, learn from their mistakes, and find a way to reignite the spark that made them a playoff contender earlier in the year.
Absolutely. The Cowboys game will be a litmus test for. It'll reveal whether they can overcome adversity and make the necessary adjustments to compete with. A win would be a huge boost to their confidence, while a loss could send them spiraling in the wrong direction.
Yeah, the outcome of this game could have ripple effects throughout the NFC East and potentially alter the playoff landscape. It's a game with massive implications and one that both teams will be desperate to win.
Yeah, the Cowboys are coming off a bye week, so they'll be well-rested and prepared for this crucial divisional matchup. They'll be looking to exploit the Commanders' weaknesses, particularly their struggles against strong defenses.
The Commanders, on the other hand, will need to find a way to generate offensive momentum and avoid getting bogged down by the Cowboys' physicality. It'll be a battle of wills and a test of their resilience.
Both teams have a lot to gain and a lot to lose in this game. It's a true toss-up and could go down to the wire. The fans are in for a treat as these two rivals clash in a game that could determine the fate of their respective. The key for the Commanders is going to be, establishing their own offensive rhythm early on. They can't afford to fall behind against a team like the Cowboys who can really, control the clock and dictate the tempo.
Right. They need to find ways to get McLaurin involved early and often. I mean, he's their most explosive playmaker.
Oh, yeah.
They need to utilize his talents to create opportunities for themselves.
But the Cowboys defense will likely be prepared for McLaurin. They'll probably try to double team him or use a combination of coverage schemes to limit his impact.
Right, that means other receivers are going to need to step up. Curtis Samuel, Jahan Dotson.
Yeah.
They'll need to win their matchups and make plays when their number is called.
The Commanders also, they need to find a way to establish their running game. Antonio Gibson, Brian Robinson Jr., they need to provide some balance and keep that Cowboys defense honest.
Right. If they can establish a balanced offensive attack, it'll open things up for McLaurin and make it harder for the Cowboys to just focus solely on him.
And the performance of quarterback Jaden Daniels is going to be crucial as well. He needs to be accurate with his throws, make good decisions, and avoid those costly turnovers.
Yeah, the Cowboys have a talented pass rush, so Daniels is going to have to be able to navigate that pocket and extend plays when necessary.
This game could very well come down to, a battle of the trenches.
Yeah.
The Commanders' offensive line needs to protect Daniels and give him time to operate.
On the other side of the ball, the Commanders' defense will need to contain the Cowboys' dynamic offense led by quarterback Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
I mean, Prescott has a plethora of weapons at his disposal, wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, running back Tony Pollard.
For sure.
So that Commanders' secondary is going to need to be at their best.
Absolutely.
To limit those big plays and force the Cowboys to sustain those long drives.
Yeah, this game has all the ingredients of a classic NFC East showdown. Two talented teams with a lot at stake battling it out, in a primetime matchup.
Oh, the atmosphere at FedEx Field is going to be electric. The fans are going to be fired up and ready to see their team bounce back.
It's going to be a hard-fought game with both teams leaving everything on the field. The outcome could have major implications in the playoff race.
Yeah. Let's shift gears for a moment and talk about some of the broader implications of the Eagles' recent success.
Okay.
Their 6-game winning streak has propelled them to the top of the NFC East.
Yeah.
And they're now considered one of the favorites to represent the conference in the Super Bowl.
For sure. Their dominant performance against the Commanders really solidified their status as a legitimate contender and sent a message to the rest of the league.
Right. Their defense has been particularly impressive. They've been shutting down opponents with regularity and creating turnovers at an alarming rate.
Their offense has also been clicking. They've been able to score points consistently, both on the ground and through the air.
And that combination of a stifling defense and a balanced offense is just a recipe for success in the NFL.
Yeah.
And the Eagles have found the perfect formula.
Their head coach, Nick Sirianni, deserves a lot of credit for the team's turnaround.
Oh, absolutely.
He's instilled a winning culture and has his players believing in themselves.
And he's also assembled a talented coaching staff that has been able to maximize the potential of that roster.
Absolutely.
I mean, the Eagles are a prime example of what can happen when a team comes together and plays with a common purpose.
For sure. Their success this season is a testament to their hard work, dedication, and belief in another.
Yeah, they've earned their spot at the top of the NFC, and they're going to be a tough out for any opponent come playoff time.
Absolutely.
While the Eagles are flying high, though, the Commanders are facing a critical test against the Cowboys.
Right. They need to find a way to overcome their recent struggles and prove they can compete with the best teams in the league.
This Cowboys game will be a measuring stick for them.
Yeah.
It'll reveal whether they're a true contender or a pretender.
They have the talent to make a run, but they need to put it all together and play with a sense of urgency.
Their season is far from over.
No.
But they need to start stringing together some wins if they want to make the playoffs.
Right. The NFC East is wide open.
Yeah.
And the Commanders still have a chance to make some noise, but they can't afford any more slip-ups, especially against divisional opponents like the Cowboys.
Yeah, this upcoming game is a must-win for the Commanders.
Absolutely.
It's a chance for them to right the ship and get back on track.
They need to play with a sense of desperation and leave everything on the field.
The Cowboys are a formidable opponent.
Yeah.
But the Commanders are capable of pulling off the upset.
For sure. It's going to be an intense battle between two rivals with playoff implications on the line.
The fans are in for a treat as these two teams clash in a game that could determine the fate of their respective seasons. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos.
Yeah, we'll be bringing you all the latest analysis and insights throughout the season.
We appreciate you joining us on NFL Talk.
Until next time.
Goodbye, and see you in the next video.